There is a lot of anxiety in Canada's federal public service this month as thousands of layoff notices land in email inboxes. It's part of the Carney government's plan to cut 40,000 jobs by 2029. The CBC's Marina von Stackelberg is on this story for us. So Marina, you have been working the phones today. What can you tell us about where things stand?
Well, the big question is where things stand for these public servants, because there's a lot of confusion about these layoff notices, workforce adjustment notices, however you want to call it. We've been trying to get some clearer numbers from different government departments, from the Treasury Board itself, and we just can't get a clear picture. We do know at least 1,000 layoff notices went to Health Canada employees today. We know that over this last week, there have been thousands of notices going out. We expect more next week and potentially into February. But the unions who are representing these workers say that this has been a very difficult process because of the fact that it's been so complicated. They say the details that are coming out are quite piecemeal. They'll hear it kind of department to department, and they said they've been through this before, kind of big layoffs within the public service, but in the past they would kind of get a list. So they said, you know, when we had these layoffs under Harper, when we had layoffs under Chrétien, we would be given just this list. We would have a better understanding of where things were at, and this is not the case right now. And that is leading to a lot of stress. A lot of people getting these workforce adjustment notices, not knowing if that means I'm maybe keeping my job, I might be needing to go somewhere else, or I might be losing my job altogether. And then the timeline, right? It's not you're losing your job today. Someone might have got a notice today and they might be waiting months potentially to find out what that means for their job. So it's leading to a lot of stress. I've been trying for days to get public servants to speak on the record with me about receiving one of these, what's going on in their workplace, and people are really scared. They don't want to go on the record. They don't want to speak about these layoff notices, in part because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't want to potentially hurt their chances of getting a new job in a different government department. So there's a lot of confusion and just really not clear details into these layoffs and what this is actually going to look like. Okay,
because I guess it would be more complicated than previous downsizings because a lot of those were symmetrical. 10% across the board,
exactly.
So the
very
bottom.
Straightforward.
But this is from Department A, maybe 50% are gone, but 25% of that is layoffs. The other 25 goes to another department. So there's multiple layers of this. So I don't know if we have a clear sense of the order of magnitude, but what is the government saying right now?
Yeah, and I will say that the unions, both of them, and speaking with them over the last 24 hours, have said they've actually gone to the Treasury Board, gone to the federal government, and said we need a better process to deal with this because this is so confusing and piecemeal, and it's making it hard for us to actually figure out how to represent our members. We, of course, know that the Carney government has said that this is all part of a plan to downsize the bureaucracy, to streamline it. They are trying to avoid as many layoffs, actual layoffs, people losing their jobs as possible. We know that they have these buyout packages to try and get some people to take early retirements. But still, the union says that there should be some more clarity, at least at this point. We did put a question to Joel Lightbound. He is the Minister of Governmental Transformation, about why there isn't more clarity right now. Have a listen to his response.
As you've seen in the last budget, we're making efforts to make sure that we have the right size for the essential services we're providing. We want to make sure that government is efficient, and as such, we're reorganizing in many ways certain departments. But as far as I'm concerned, I think the packages offered and the information provided by most departments that I've seen has been fairly adequate.
Now, unions have been saying this whole time that they feel like these job cuts will lead to an impact on Canadian services. They point to the fact that people struggle already with things like dealing with the Canada Revenue Agency. But Lightbound, when we put that question to him today, he said that he thinks that services will be just as good, if not better, because of the fact that the government is trying to embrace new technology, trying to streamline and use the right tools. He says he values the public service, but they need the right tools to do their job.
Okay, Marina, thank you so much. That's the CBC's Marina von Stackelberg.